Good morning, I'm Andrew Top with Investing News Network, and I'm here with Erin Chutter of Global Cobalt. Global Cobalt's had a busy few months, and I'm here to talk with Erin about some of the latest developments. Welcome, Erin.
Thank you, I'm happy to be here.
So in August, Global Cobalt began a drill and technical work program at Karakul in Russia. What are the main goals of the program?
The goals of the program at Karakul are threefold. The first is we have a significant historic resource from the Soviet era at the project, and we would like to bring as much of that into 43101 compliance as possible. So that's really the primary driver of the project. In addition to that, we are redoing some of the historic metallurgical process work. So we'd like to get a better sense of mineral composition, process flow, so that we can put that into the 43101 resource that SRK is preparing for us. And then finally, we are looking to meet the Russian requirements for resource development, and part of the work of this program will be going towards that as well.
Okay. Is drilling still on track to start in the third week of October?
In fact, I'm happy to tell you that we have commenced drilling this week, and we've had first core and first intersection with the mineralized zone. So it's a very, very good week for the project.
Excellent. Okay. And this will be the first phase of drilling at Karakul, correct? When do you expect it to be completed?
We're looking to complete this program through the winter, so December, January. We are embarking on about 7,500 meters of drilling altogether on the Karakul project site. Those materials will go to the assay lab Alex Stewart in Moscow over the next 2 or 3 months, and the program from the technical perspective should be complete again December, January, moving that information into the 43101 report, resource report that SRK is preparing. Will take a couple more months after that.
Okay. And Global Cobalt has also just started the process of completing a feasibility study for Karakul. So will you be incorporating information from the drill program into the study?
Absolutely. In fact, one of the big drivers for the feasibility study will be the material and information that's coming out of this program, in addition to the historic information that we have available on the project. The group that we're using for the feasibility study is a group called BGRIM from Beijing. They have a great deal of experience in cobalt projects and other base metals projects, both in Africa and Central Asia. So they're a great partner for us. They've also agreed, as part of the terms of our agreement, that they will we can back end the feasibility study costs into the potential EPC contract for mine development. So it's not a cost that our shareholders have to bear upfront.
Okay, great. And is the project fully funded to this point?
Yeah, so we have in place through our major shareholder group, which includes the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, funding to complete this work program, including the 43101 resource and the metallurgical composition work. That, I think, puts us at a huge advantage to many other companies out in the marketplace who haven't been able to fund a technical program. So we're very pleased to have the technical funding program in place and working capital funding in place.
And you recently did a $4.6 million financing, right?
That's correct. So that is the funding that we've allocated almost entirely to the work program as part of our earn-in to the project ownership.
Okay, great. Under Global Cobalt's recent preliminary offtake agreement with Beijing Eastspring Material Technology, how much cobalt will Global sell to Eastspring?
Eastspring's a really important partner for us. They are one of the largest suppliers of material to the battery industry, including names like Panasonic and Samsung. They're also partly owned by BGRIM, which is the group that's doing our feasibility study. The offtake terms that we have in place right now are really open-ended for us. We can supply them up to, depending on the year of the agreement, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 tons of material in concentrate or intermediate form. This gives us a great advantage in that we can still have discussions with other offtake partners, but at the same time know that if we need to sole source where we sell our material, we have that option available to us.
Okay. So in terms of the production from Karakul, will will all of it be sold into the rechargeable battery market?
You know, the battery market, so lithium batteries primarily, is a huge demand driver for the cobalt industry. You know, the numbers differ depending on who you talk to, but you know, in excess of 50 to 60% of the material that's produced from cobalt, either in byproduct or primary form, is going into the battery space. As lithium batteries get put everywhere, the demand for cobalt just gets higher and higher. I think it's highly likely that the material from our project will end up with battery manufacturers.
Right, okay. Can you talk a little bit about what it's like to operate in Russia? How does Global Cobalt have any competition in the region, in the Republic of Altai?
You know, Russia is a great example of a jurisdiction where there's tons of opportunity in terms of mineral development, but it's really important to have the right partners and be in the right location to really take advantage of that. Altai is located, our project's located about 4 kilometers from the Mongolian border, very close to the Chinese border, very close to the Kazakh border. So if you can picture that, it's pretty much in the heartland of Central Asia and very close to the largest market for cobalt in the world, which is China, not surprisingly. The other great thing about what we've put together is one of our significant shareholders is the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. They are a major investor into Russia and very well respected by the Russian government, also by the Russian business community. So that gives us a real operating advantage in the region. Altai itself is an area that is really endowed, blessed with mineral resources. You know, if you think about Mongolia 20 years ago or Kazakhstan 20 years ago, we believe that Altai could become the next significant emerging mining region. And so we're pleased that we have a foothold there with our Karakul project, with our sister projects, related projects that we also are earning an interest in.
Great. Okay. Well, let's just end with some discussion about cobalt prices.
Sure.
So I was noticing prices have been pretty flat over the last 6 months or so. What's your outlook for the short term and the medium term?
Cobalt prices are actually performing ahead of price expectation from most of the analysts about a year ago. And the reasons for that are mostly demand driven. Demand has remained strong, particularly from the battery sector. There's also significant supply concerns in the market. Most of the world's cobalt, in fact about 97% of the world's cobalt that goes into China, comes from the DRC. Not the prettiest place in the world to operate. They've recently introduced the potential for a ban on cobalt concentrate exports out of the region. And you can really see where that discussion started happening in the cobalt price chart. There was a pretty immediate spike up from the last bottom. It's sort of settled out here in this range, which we're really comfortable with this range. You know, we feel our project, you know, with the right conditions it makes sense at this price point. Most of the analysts are saying we're gonna have another leg up, sort of the $15, $16 range in the next 3 or 4 years. So, you know, from our project timing perspective, we're very comfortable with where the cobalt price is.
Okay, good. All right, well, it's been great speaking with you, Erin.
Nice to meet you, thank you.
Okay, I've been Andrew Topp with Investing News Network. I've been speaking with Erin Chutter of Global Cobalt. Thanks for joining me.